All right, class, welcome to writing time. Today, we are talking about telling a meaningful story. We've been working on that with using details, power words, lots of things, but again, we want to go back to the main idea, and that's finding ideas for our stories. Sometimes, you don't necessarily know that an idea you use or an idea that you get during the day is a story. But if you tell it as a meaningful story, it's possible. Now, how many of you remember the leaving morning? Now, this was a story about a family moving. That's really not that much of a small moment. For me, this is actually a huge thing. How many of you have ever moved? Yeah. So it's a big thing for people's lives. Let's listen for a sec, just to a couple pages. Again, this is by Angela Johnson. And just remember kind of what has happened in this story and the reason why the woman wrote this story. The leaving happened on a soupy, misty morning when you could hear the street sweeper. Shh. What is she doing when she's using words like soupy and misty? KK?
She's doing power words.
She's using power words. She's telling details that make this meaningful. But they make me think, too. What do you think of when you think of soup? Asia?
Good.
You think it might be good? What else do you think of? What does it look like? If it's a soupy, misty morning, Kanaya? Juicy. Or?
It has noodles in it.
Oh, so how would the noodles look in the morning if it was like soupy? That's a really interesting image to put into your head. Stand. We pressed our faces against the hall window and left cold lips on the pane. Some of you talked about the last time we read this story, that image of putting your lips onto a cold window. How many of you have ever done that?
I put my hand on
And, well, if it's really cold, your lips will stick. But if it's just kind of cold, it makes that little indentation. You can see the lips. It was leaving morning. Boxes of clothes, toys, dishes, and pictures of us everywhere. Is she using a lot of words?
Yeah.
Yeah, she's using a lot of words that are very descriptive. But she doesn't need that many of them to tell her story. So they call this one of our small moments. She's telling a meaningful story. Can any of you think of a small moment? Maybe a small moment that's happened in your life in the last week, or maybe happened this morning. Let's think for a second before we raise our hands. Because remember Mr. Pablo's quote, I'd rather be correct than first. So I want you to think about what you're doing first. And let's do it like we're doing a number talk, and give me a thumb if you've got a small moment. And I'm going to write some of these down. So maybe that your classmates can see some of the small moments they could write about today. Solomon?
Next, I'm happy. I was happy when a person from the football coach and he said, "Man, I don't have to wear a hoodie for me to play against my football team."
So your small moment was somebody said something encouraging to you. So how about football coach was encouraging. And I bet you could describe the football coach and how you felt at that time, and that'd be a great first story. Who else has a small moment? I'm waiting for a thumb. Asia.
I went swimming on the weekend.
You went swimming this weekend. What could we describe when you're talking about swimming this weekend? What could you use for details? Anybody know? Alana? What could be something that'd be a detail you would put in there? I asked for hands not to be up. What would be a detail? Anaya?
The water was cool.
Oh! And then you describe the water.
And it was cold.
Or hot. Maybe it was hot. But was it cold like that misty, soupy morning? Or was it hot like a burrito? Let's take 2 more small moments. Dwayne?
I'm going to a party this weekend.
Oh, going to a party. That's an easy one to do. What kind of party?
A party, it's a pool party.
Ooh, you have so many things to describe there. Pool party, water, what are you going to wear? What are you taking to the party? Good small moment. All right, one last small moment. Kevin?
I was sad when my little cat died.
Sorry, that sounds like I was really excited about your cat dying. But what I was excited about was he's got a great small moment story. Sad when his cat.
No.
How many of you have ever had a pet pass away? It's really sad. And you like to remember that pet in a good way. Tell somebody next to you about when you've had a pet pass away.
I